to the October Market Watch. So, this one was a little bit delayed. I was working on a major video on the other channel, and it was so major I didn't even realize I was making 3 hours worth of content. I needed to split it up into 2 videos. So I did. Anyway, I wanted to talk about a few like news-related things related to Zoids, and some of these are kind of intangible, and they're not exactly good news either. But I wanted to talk about them before we talked about current kits, because there's really nothing new. Well, there's one new kit, and the ZA Berserk Fury has released. But other than that, that's about it for kit announcements. So I wanted to talk about some more news-related things. But first, as you can see right here, we're on the homepage of Anime Week in Atlanta, which is coming up here, and I wanted to show this off because I am going to be hosting a panel there about Zoids with my friend Ortaga Malice, who we did I did a video of his collection earlier in the year and back in the summer, and he's going to be co-hosting with me. I will be posting the re-upload of the panel to the channel so you guys can see it no matter where in the world you live. But if you happen to be in the Southeast and you're coming to the convention, definitely say hello. And I would love to talk to you guys about Zoids. It is at kind of an awkward time. It's at 11:30 a.m. on Friday, which may be before some people even arrive at the con, which is kind of unfortunate. But it is what it is. So keep in mind as well, AWA has a very strict COVID policy this year. So the fact that they're having the con at all is something to be said for sure. But they are mandating vaccines and masks simultaneously at all times. And they will be verifying vaccines as you try to pick up your badge. So just something to keep in mind if you are traveling for this convention. Anyway, also, before I forget about the panel as well, I'm going to be giving out prizes. So I have 2 Zoids Wild Hasbro kits to give away as a prize. And for the grand prize, I'm going to be giving away an HMM. I don't know which HMM it's going to be yet, and I also don't know how I'm going to be able to get my hands on it. So it may actually be one out of my own backlog that I'll have to rebuy later, one that's in current print, like the Fang Tiger or the Rev Raptor. But we will see. So if you guys want a chance to win a Zoid from me, then again, come to the panel and ask questions, and you will be entered in a random draw to win a Zoid. So anyway, I wanted to talk about the Zoids Wild line as it is brought to us by Hasbro. So we go on the Hasbro Pulse site here, right? And we search for Zoids, and we find nothing. And so the listings for the Wave 1 that was out earlier this year, the kits that we have seen in circulation and I've done a couple reviews on, are no longer listed. And there has been no announcements, no discussion, nothing from any of their events that would indicate that they're working on any kind of Wave 2. Now, with other product lines, we typically know this stuff pretty far in advance. Like with Transformers, for instance, we pretty much know what the next wave is a little bit after the first wave comes out. With Zoids, that's not the case. There are plenty of other Zoids Wild kits they could adapt for the English market, just based off of Zoids Wild, not even going into the Zoids Wild Zero kits, but just Zoids Wild. There are so many other kits they could adapt that they have not adapted yet, and that's a little concerning. So they could have a Wave 2 and even a Wave 3. There's so many kits they haven't adapted yet. So, but it doesn't look like they will. I think that they have abandoned the brand for the second time now, and that this is now the 5th time that Zoids as a brand has failed in the United States. The second time it's failed under Hasbro, and again, I hate this, but we kind of saw it coming, and it's not entirely their fault. I just think that Zoids Wild in and of itself was not very marketable, and they were kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. They didn't know that Zoids Wild Zero was even going to exist. I feel like Zoids Wild Zero would have been a much more marketable show, but even then, it's like you're still... either in one of two existing places. You're either pandering to the established fans that are getting into it out of nostalgia, that were fans of it back in the day, sort of like how we are with Transformers, where I feel like the bulk of the audience for Transformers right now is older fans of the series from throughout the franchise's history. There's not exactly a lot of kids that are getting into it these days, and or you are, selling it to kids that watch Zoids Wild Zero. But as I said earlier this year, I don't feel like the wind-up and motorized Zoids model kits are appealing to these modern children. They're not appealing to the Fortnite iPad generation. I feel like they're too simple, and the interests of kids have changed due to easy access to technology, and I think it's a really sad thing. But it is what it is. It's not my generation anymore. I can't pass any judgment on that. But anyway, it would appear to be that Zoids is gone from Hasbro again. But there could be a possibility that could change. I'm going to wait and see until the end of the fourth quarter to declare any real declarative statements, even though it sounds like I just did. We'll have to just see what happens. Anyway, I do have one more news-related thing to talk about, but we'll talk about that when we get to the USA Gundam store. So I wanted to talk about the Japan market for HMMs right now. So over here on AmiAmi, the pre-orders for the reprint Godos and the reprint Iguan are available. They announced a reprint Command Wolf as well, which is essentially the same as the last reprint, the Markings Plus version. And this would be the third time that this Command Wolf has been in circulation, so it should be pretty easy to get. Highly recommend picking that up. It's a fantastic kit, as you guys should already know. It has all three weapons already included in it. Fang Tiger's in stock. Cat is meowing at me outside the door. I don't know if y'all can hear her. I'll find out when I edit this. The Death Stinger ZS is gone, interestingly enough. Oh, I'm completely ignoring the elephant in the room, and that is that the HMM Rev Raptor is out. It has shipped. I have mine. It's awesome. Haven't built it yet, but there have been some people on the collectors group that have built it and have shown side-by-side comparisons of it after it was built. And the wind-up one, the original Takara Tomy and Hasbro one, is quite a bit smaller. There's a little bit of a difference in scale there, which is interesting. The Raven Raptor is still available for pre-order, and the Pile Bunker unit separate. Over here on AmiAmi, it's much of the same thing. Interestingly, AmiAmi does not have the Command Wolf reissue, which is interesting. They still have the Omega Rex in stock if y'all want to get that. And Iron Kong PK is here with only one left in stock. You could be the lucky person to buy the last Iron Kong PK from HLJ. You should totally go do that right now. Okay, I entertained the cat and I'm back. I would bring her in to show you guys because I know everybody wants to see, but she will not go anywhere near me if Michelle's not home. Anyway, on to the USA Gundam store. So I wanted to take this moment to talk about the US allocation for HMMs because that's something that we were all really excited about this year. And we are somewhat overdue to have these kits allocated. And I'll tell you why. So I went to Hobbytown, and at Hobbytown USA, I asked them, okay, so I understand that, because they understand all of the logistics of getting imported model kits and Gunpla and stuff like that. So I talked to them, and I said, so I understand that Kotobukiya is allocating HMM Zoids to the US. Are you guys planning to buy any? And they said yes. The question is, when are they going to get here? And so basically the situation right now is that they've been shipped overseas to the main US Koto warehouse in California. But the entire international shipping industry right now is in complete chaos. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there are container ships outside the Bay of California trying to dock and unload their cargo, but the wait is days and days long just to be able to dock and unload their cargo. So they're backed up so tremendously. So there's literally a fleet of ships in the ocean waiting to dock. It's that backed up, and so it's ridiculous, and there's not really anything we can do about that. So most likely, your HMM that you will soon buy is on one of those shipping containers in the middle of the ocean somewhere, just waiting to dock and be distributed out from the distribution center in California once it finally gets there. And so afterward, you may be able to get one of these, which are the kits coming for the U.S. allocation. Of course, they have different release dates, but we know very soon that the DCSJ, the Rev Raptor, the Fang Tiger should all, and the Death Stinger ZS should all be available very, very soon, because their release dates kind of coincide with where we're at right now. And then later on, we should be getting again a reprint of the 2020 Blade Liger, the generic Blade Liger. We should be getting, of course, the Godos and Iguan reprints, the Liger Zero X and the Liger Zero Empire, which I believe this is where I actually... Oh boy, I hope that's not the case. I'm pretty sure this is where I ordered my Liger Zero Empire from, which means I could be in trouble. I'll probably end up getting my Zero X before then, but these are all really good prices, and the reason that they're good prices is because you are not having to pay to import them. They are already imported before they're purchased. Now, of course, there's still going to be a little bit of a markup from the USA Gundam store themselves, and then you're paying shipping. But honestly, compared to what we used to pay back in the day, and even what you might pay for getting Zoids internationally right now, off of sites like AmiAmi, AmiAmi has really good prices, but you're paying shipping for something like DHL, which is reliable, but extremely expensive, especially right now during COVID. So to get these domestically and pay like FedEx shipping or something like that, pretty nice. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And also, as I showed off in one of the previous videos, the ZA Berserk Fury, which again, this is technically out overseas. Some people already have their hands on it and have built it, and it does look pretty sick, as I have mentioned, but it is technically not a Zoid, and so USA Gundam Store has it listed as not a Zoid. That's why I had to search for it separately. Finally, let's move on to Nin Games. They have much of the same thing as before, but it seems like for whatever reason, and some people, not everybody trusts this site for their in-stock, and so maybe I should be a little more skeptical of why they seem to have some of the exclusive stuff. Maybe they buy the Kodo exclusives from Kodo to list on the site. I don't know. But they have some unique kits that some of the other sites don't have. They've had the Gogeless Gunner in the past. They had that fancy prototype Saber Tiger thing. But here is a new kit that they have listed. It is the Psycho Geno Spino. And this is a new special edition kit that I guess is going to be released soon. It is in the coloration of the Psycho Genosaur, but of course, I'm yawning so much. It's the Geno Spino from Zoids Wild Zero, complete with cannons. I don't particularly care for the Geno Spino. I think it's really ugly, especially compared to how awesome the Omega Rex looks. But I do have to admit this is pretty cool, and a nice little homage considering how much we all love the Psycho Genosaur. It's definitely my favorite Genosaur. So, other than that, they have the same basic array of kits at decent prices. Liger Zero X and the Empire Liger. Of course, the different Rev Raptors are available. Fang Tiger's in stock on here. The reprinted Genosaurs in stock on here. You can still get the Death Stinger ZS on here. You can get a little Cannon Tortoise. I love the Cannon Tortoise HMM, by the way, if I haven't said so already. Both of the Moga sets are in stock on here. Gojo's Gunner's gone. The Iron Kong PK is still there. You can get a Beam Gatling Unit customized parts kit for your Empire Zoids, which I'm very excited to see if that fits on the Great Saber, considering that I guess I'll put it on my Red Horn as well. But they have the video games still in stock. They actually have the Wild Liger Guren in stock, which my friend Brad or Takamalis also has. He has that kit, so I'm going to be able to do a review of that because it's part of his collection and he will have built it. But yeah, mostly the same stuff here. So pretty good selection overall and cannot really complain. So I think I have meandered long enough and had enough weird flubs in this episode. But anyway, with all of that said, so come to Anime Week in Atlanta. Come to the Zoids panel. It's at 11 a.m. on or 11:30 a.m. on Friday. Ask questions. Win a Zoid. Zoids Wild is potentially abandoned by Hasbro. We don't know. We'll see as the fourth quarter rolls around. If you pre-ordered a U.S. allocated HMM Zoid, you're shit out of luck until they get this transportation situation figured out. And the new Psycho Geno Spino looks pretty cool. And with all that out of the way, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.